Bonjour, hi. Welcome back to another Coffee Talk. For those of you who are not familiar with Coffee Talks, it's a series and a podcast I have where every Friday I sit down with a cup of coffee. I sip on it while I talk about different topics that have been on my mind for the past week. And this week is no exception. As I'm recording this, it's been a little more than a year. It's been actually a year and a week since I have lost my job. And for once, this is actually what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about how life has this way of doing things and how it has sometimes blessing in disguise. Yeah, that was a long title, so it's probably going to be shorter than that, but that's nonetheless what we're going to be talking about today. So buckle in. Is it buckle up or buckle in? I never know. Let me know, please. So yeah, a year ago, or a little more than a year ago, I lost my job, which was very surprising. I didn't see it coming. Nobody really did, to be honest. And again, to be completely transparent with you and frank, which is really essential for me here, I thought I was doing a good job. I thought I was doing a great job, actually. I know my skills, I know what I'm good at, and I was under the impression that what I did was good. And that's true, because I learned a little later on that the reason for losing my job had nothing to do with me as a person or with me as a professional and with the job that I was doing, at least not that I know of and not from what I've heard. But this doesn't mean that it wasn't surprising and that my ego wasn't crushed at the time. So if I take a look back at March 2023, which is when it all happened, I had a great life. I was enjoying my life. To be honest, I was kind of taking it for granted because all of a sudden everything changed. I lost a lot of things that I, yes, did take for granted, but things that I held close to my heart. And I think that the thing that hurt me the most at the time and what made me the saddest was the friendships I had created within this environment. Yes, it was quite a stressful environment in some cases and at times, but it allowed me to create these very strong and powerful friendships, and losing my job immediately made me think that I was going to lose these friendships as well. And as I said, my ego was also crushed greatly. But now, 1 year later, I am still friends with these people, and I realized that this whole thing was actually a blessing in disguise. And obviously at the time I could not realize that. I had an intuition. I had a gut feeling that what was happening for a reason, but it was hard to put it into perspective because it was so soul crushing and it was so sad to me, and I felt like I was losing control of my life because job and working has always been the part of my life where I felt the most in control and where I felt like it's where I exceeded the most, where I succeeded also the most. And so losing that and having this taken away from me without my control, without consulting me, which would have been weird to consult me before firing me. But the point is, I lost control over the thing that I thought I had the best control over. Does that make sense? I don't know. And as I said, looking back now, I could not be happier with the outcome of it all. And I knew within me, I knew deep down that I had to trust the process. I had to trust myself because I knew that something better was coming. I just didn't know what it was. And I knew that I had to give myself some time. And that's exactly what I did. So after losing my job at that time and back in March 2023, I gave myself approximately 2 months to think everything through, to really have a better understanding of what was happening, to have a better plan for the future and not just jump straight into something else because I wanted to gain this sense of control back. I saw this as an opportunity to recollect myself, to really sit through it, to think everything through, to have a plan, to come up with a plan and to follow it. And that's precisely what I did, and I am so happy and grateful and thankful that I did that. I am so happy that I had the opportunity to do just that, because losing a job kind of puts some kind of stress onto you, like financial stress and just like, a sense of purpose. Being the person that I am, I take a lot of pride in the work that I do. And so having no job meant that I kind of had to find new ways for me to enjoy myself and to be happy and proud of myself. And so during that 2-month period, I really enjoyed life, honestly. And I wasn't going out all the time. I was really just living life as raw as it was, like as pure as it could be. I was going outside and I was experiencing the weather differently. I was seeing friends differently. I was seeing life differently. But this allowed me to better understand myself, better know my worth and my value, and better know what I wanted to do with my life, rather than just roaming around and thinking that this is what I should do because this is what people are doing. I just asked myself so many questions that I had an answer. I came up eventually with an answer to all of those questions. And it made me understand myself better and know myself better. And it also allowed me to make better decisions. And again, as I said, it's easy to say that now because we're a year later and I have all this experience of the past year behind me, and I know all the good things that came out of it and all the outcome because I'm living it at the moment. But truthfully, looking back and putting myself back into the situation and into the mindset that I was in March 2023, I just knew that this was meant to happen, that life, has this way of doing things, of teaching you lessons. And this was one of it. This was a major one. This was a turning point in my life that I didn't know that I needed, but that made me into the person that I am today. Honestly, I don't think I would have had the courage and the guts to go freelance if it had not been for that situation. Like, if that whole thing did not happen, I wouldn't be where I am today. I probably wouldn't be sitting down here because this is also the time that I took to really think about what I want to do, what I like doing, and YouTube, filming content, creating stuff is part of the grand scheme of where am I heading with that? What I mean is I like creating stuff and I knew it and I had the time to do it. And this is one of the reasons why I'm sitting here today. Wow. It didn't have to be that long or complex, but hey, I am who I am. And sure, back in March and April and May of 2023, I didn't quite know where I was headed, but I was trusting myself. I was trusting the process. And I knew deep down within me that everything happens for a reason. And as cheesy as it may sound, I truly believe that. I truly believe that everything happens for a reason, whether it's positive or negative. I think there's always a lesson to be learned out of any given situation. Again, even if it's negative, even if it puts you in this uncomfortable situation, there has something that you can take out of it in order to grow and move on and just make better decisions for yourself for the future, or just know something about yourself, learn something about yourself, learn something about other people, learn something about life. There's always something that has to come out of everything that you experience in life. And this is one of the biggest lessons I've ever had throughout this whole thing and throughout the past year. And I'm, again, for lack of a better word, grateful for it. Speaking of lessons, one of the biggest one I've had in the past year was the importance of family and friends. I could not be happier with the people surrounding me. I'm truly blessed. I have the best family. I have the best friends. And that specific event proved it to me. I knew it, but this really reinforced this whole thing. And it proved to me that these people are there and they are sticking around no matter what. They encourage me with doing what I really want to do, and they are with me no matter what. They've been by my side through it all, and they've stuck around, and they gave me, again, this courage, and this force and this excitement to really just get going, and to do my own thing. And they, at some point, believed in me more than I did, and they trusted me more than I trusted myself, which is such a big proof of love. And I'm so grateful for everyone that's surrounding me, for everyone that's in my life. Because yes, I did choose them to be in my life, but they chose me as well. And I could not be more thankful for that. And it's as I said, one of the biggest lessons I've learned in the past year. And these people are truly, truly amazing. I love them, and I hope they love me. I do feel like they love me. And I might not be the kind of person who has a ton of friends, but the ones that I have are really, in my opinion, the best ones. It's quality over quantity. And I've talked about this in last week's episode about being picky. And I am picky about the friends I choose and the friends that I surround myself with, because they are the people who are by my side and who will be there in times of crisis. And this is exactly what happened. I was surrounded with love, with positivity. They were there to listen to me, to advise me, and sometimes just to laugh it out or cry it out. And I don't know, I'm very grateful for the people in my life. And again, if it wasn't from them, I don't think I would be the person that I am today, and I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be a freelancer in social media. I don't know. I don't know what I would be, but I would probably be lost without them. So yeah. So be picky about the people that you choose to be in your life, because these are the people who are going to stick around when it's time to, and they're not gonna be running away from your problems because they love you. And this is what this whole thing is about. Similarly to what I said about things happening for a reason, I think that people are in your life for a reason. So that's why you have to choose wisely. And I think I did that right. If there's one thing that I did right, it is choosing the people in my life. So yeah, honestly, it amazes me how so many things can change in a year in 365 days. Well, 366 because we had an extra one this year, but so many things have changed for the better, in my opinion. But again, I don't want to take anything for granted now, because that didn't go as planned. And I'm really trying to actively enjoy everything in my life and not take it for granted, and enjoy it while it's there, because who knows where I'll be in a year. Because clearly I'm not where I was a year ago. And it's for the better, as I said. I'm in a much happier place. I'm more free. Anyway, all of this to say that, yeah, everything can change in a year, and I am proof of it. And you just have to trust the process, trust life, because it has its way of doing things, and things happening to you might not be what they seem in the end, and they might be a blessing in disguise, or they might be there to teach you something. So, you just have to trust yourself, trust the process, trust life, and know that everything happens for a reason, and rely on that to move on, move forward, and just take it one day at a time. If you're in a time where it's a little harder now, just know that it will get better. And yeah, rely on that. I know it's easier said than done, but truly this is what helped me back in March 2023. So cheers to life. Anyway, I'm clearly getting lost in the sauce here. So this, you guessed it, is my cue to wrap it up here. Thank you for watching or listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. I truly, truly, truly mean it. Hopefully I have made a little difference in your day today. If you would like to make a difference in mine, you know what to do. And I'm going to wish you Bonne journée.